The story of a people is told best by those who live it out daily. And when the history of that community is informative, inspirational, and insightful, it should then be shared with the world. The Clio Exchange does that.
And I've seen that picture, the signing with you there, and it's a moving moment.
It was some moment, because actually when we left, we just had to go over the corner. Said, man, we were there where millions of our people had longed someday to be.
Could you feel that?
Every time I see that, I remember that moment. And so he was a spiritually mature young man, and obviously so technically competent that when his progeny, 40 years afterwards, gets before an audience or debates an issue, goes to the moral center of people. And the joy that I have at this moment is that people who want to see an end to the barbarism of war, and the decadence of racism, and the scourge of poverty around the world have said, give him a Nobel Peace Prize. Not on the basis of what he has done, but what he's going to do if we follow him.
Now, as we're winding down and you look forward, because we missed a lot of wonderful conversation, which I hope I can get a chance to come back and get the rest of it. What do you see as the best chance for humanity, and particularly our community, as we move forward?
I see as the best hope for humanity
Hope is better.
Being that of accepting the stone which the builders rejected. It is finally very clear, against the background of scientifically reliable and objectively verifiable data, that the first human beings were of African descent. And were it not for the fact that we were subjected to the most cruel form of slavery in the history of the world, which was based on the destruction of the family, the world would have been blessed far more than the basketball world has been blessed with Michael Jordan, and far more than the baseball world was blessed with Jackie Robinson. You know, the thing, if I made the thing that got me was that here's a fella, let us in the game. And the first year he becomes the most valuable player in the whole league, you know? But we would have gone, we'd have been much farther along had that 400-year gap not been forced upon us by the greed and the opportunism of people who were, quite frankly, enamored of the richest planet on the continent. 80% of the world's diamonds, ferromanganese, titanium, coltan, 80%, and you could grow all year long. So you didn't have to get, you know, you could grow enough in there to feed people who couldn't grow in the snow. So they came, and they imposed a BET culture on us that had us the neck of the chicken and rumble seat ride for many, many centuries. But now it is a hope of the disadvantaged and the disinherited in Tibet and in Sudan and on the West Bank and in Israel and in North and South Korea and in Southeast Asia. People all over the world are enamored of the fact that black is not only in everything that we try to do, whether it's academics or sports or performance and entertainment, but maybe this kind of leadership that says fleecy locks and black complexion cannot forfeit nature's claim is our hope, our only hope, of ending the barbarism of war, the decadence of racism, and the scourge of poverty as we've seen it ruined in the last 8 years. Cheney and those guys really wrecked the world. And I can tell you that because God blessed me to not only get a solid education, but placed me in a position in the Congress on the Banking, Finance, and Urban Affairs Committee of the House. I was chair of a subcommittee on domestic monetary policy, overseeing the Federal Reserve System. chairman of the Subcommittee on International Development, Finance, Trade, and Monetary Policy, overseeing the World Bank, the IMF, the Asian Development Bank, the African Development Bank, all of the multilateral development institutions designed to meet the needs of the least of these. And I tell you, the policies implemented in the last 20 years generally, but in the last 8 years before Obama in particular, nearly wrecked the world. And that recession and depression has been felt all over the world. And while it is a jobless recovery thus far, I mean, the wealthy few have recovered, as the stock market shows. That's because they took the money and committed it to themselves rather than to the people. But there are people all over the world who are longing for the spreading of the 5 things without which no human being can be happy. You've got to have income, education, healthcare, housing, and justice. And they've decided Obama is our best hope.
Yeah. Praise the Lord. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this.